Alright, let's get ourselves into a game here. Welcome back to the Road to Better Chess. It's been a while. I am busy back in my normal life. We're back in Osaka and don't have as much time as we've had the last few weeks, but looking forward to still continuing this series if we can. So let's see if we can get a game in. The last two games have been rather poor, to be frank. Not focusing all that much. Distracted either with what I'm doing at home, holding my son, and it's good things, these things are priorities, but if we are going to put time aside for the chess, let's try and play good chess. I wonder if I should close this window, they're a bit noisy. Okay, take that away for a bit. There we go. Nice. Alright, let's see if we can find a 15+10 game. I am white, so realizing still, good luck, have fun. I'm going to go to Zen mode though, I like it. But there's still a lot of things in terms of chess transpositions and positions that I don't have completely done. I don't know exactly, is this a French, a Queen's Gambit declined, a Queen's Indian defense, a Dutch? Okay, it's been a while since we faced the Dutch. Let's just play G3, we're going to fianchetto. We'll see if we can actually play into the plan that I was putting down in that opening solution video. We'll see if that works here. If not, maybe we'll just have a game. We'll just get a nice game. Take a bit of time for the chess before we get back to the other things in the day. Let's see. Alright, they're thinking. Yeah, I think we're fairly happy just bringing out our bishop. Once they've moved their darks for bishop, we can go b3 and bishop a3 maybe. Okay, this could turn into a Stonewall, which I was actually in my head thinking without thinking. I think we just continue here. If they take, it's a rather strange setup. We can go and take here, and the situation is, if nothing else, very interesting. So yeah, we just go knight f3, I think. c6 is the Stonewall. You might want to push out your bishop instead. Taking, I don't think is... Yeah, okay, so it is a Stonewall. Let me just remember, do we have time to castle bishop out here, then they castle? Yeah, okay, we do. So we're going to castle first. And I gotta say, in terms of facing the Dutch, it's been the Stonewall the majority of the time. It's been a Stonewall a lot of the time, so I don't know if it's picking up in popularity or what it is that's making everyone to play the Stonewall, but yeah, okay, so here we go with our plan. Now we are threatening bishop a3, and if they castle, they will have to take because the bishop will be pinned against the rook, unless they try and do something silly with like c5 or something. In the Masters database, Queen e7 is also a main move, just stopping us from being able to play the bishop up right away, but we can still insist on the plan with something like a4. There's a bunch of stuff here, and then a5, and I've never actually faced someone who plays the main line in that position. It's still interesting for me. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and say thank you very much for letting us trade off your dark square bishop. I also think in the past I've spent a lot of time explaining and things. I like explaining, and I should take a bit more time to do it, but equally I've had some terrible positions because I spent too much time when I didn't need to spend time. And I've also lost on time once or twice in this series, which is not really acceptable. Especially when it's still kind of like a middle game position. I should have sufficient time there, so we're not going to sit around too much. So yeah, our plan is now basically, okay, if I remember correctly, the Queen c1 is a move here, but actually just taking the pawn is perfectly fine. Taking the bishop. Queen c1 does get us onto this diagonal. Queen c2 is kind of where you normally sit. because then you're off the back rank and you correct your rook. So this is a move. I think taking is better. They take, and I think the point is that they might not want to keep their queen on that square forever. Although I kind of forgot what we're supposed to be doing in that situation. Are we supposed to play up here, here? Because ideally we want to be able to jump on knight. Oh, sorry, jump on knight here. So let me just see. What's the other ways we can get there again? Like this. Yeah, this knight jump is always kind of slow. So if we do this, we're kind of hoping they'll take. But if they don't want to take, should we just take? We can also take and then push the queen around first. I don't actually remember if the best move was c5 in that position, but there is a variation of this. You take, you can kick the queen, bring out the knight, and then try and push your pawns on the queen side as well, because that bishop's just kind of bad most of the game. Okay, decisions. Take or queen c1. I played queen c1 in a previous game. It is acceptable, I know. I'm going to take this time. I want to play a different position. Okay, so now we can still play queen c1 and we can jump on knight like this. Or we can play a4 and then jump on knight anyway. What are they going to do? They're going to bring the knight out here and then what? And then what? Or we can go here, they jump out and we try and dodge, but in that case we probably want to dodge where? Dodge. Oh, you know what? We can do this, and if they jump out we can go here. Then that's a little bit of a problem. Maybe here. Back, they can come in here, but that doesn't really bother us too much. Yeah, so this actually looks like a fine move in this position still. So let's just going to do this. I don't want to trade off the knight though. I'm not excited to take and give them fxe or dxe and make it complicated right now. The Stonewall Dutch kind of accepts that it's a little bit worse. I mean, obviously if Masters play it's not worse, but they've got a bad bishop here. That's kind of the point, right? So we're just going to try and continue the game, but I'm not interested in trading off. I'm interested in getting my knight to the d3 square. Alright, so in this case now we can do this and continue here, because they're going to jump in and then put the other knight back there, which I don't really care about, to be honest. If they jump, we can also then do this. Yeah, actually, I kind of like this. So we are going to do a whole little journey with the knight in some way. Whoopsie daisy, in some way. Even, no, not yet. That's so one of these jumps gets us to b2, which gets us to d3. But we can just finish our basic development first. There's no reason to do anything else. Pushing the pawn can't be good. Yeah, knight out. I wonder, if I do this, am I inviting them to play b5? And if I do I like or dislike that? I think I like that, don't I? Take. Here, they take. I know they've got multiple pieces looking at that, so in this case maybe I push actually. And then once their queen decides to move somewhere else, then we can jump the knight back and continue our journey. And if they don't do this, if they do something like here, yeah, this is the other thing. They might try come out on this diagonal, right? Alright, but this is still a generally good move because it also gives me visibility of the c-pawn. So we're jumping on knight out. It looks a bit strange. We're kind of looking to do this and just sink a knight into e5 because they can't stop us except with the knights. And actually if we get that situation where they trade off one pair, then we can actually take this knight with our bishop even. Also a position I've never actually played, but in analysis with the engine it looks good. Declan Ross, konnichiwa. How are you? I can write konnichiwa for you in Japanese quickly if you want. Konnichiwa. There we go. How are you doing today, Declan? I hope you're doing well. And from where in the world are you calling in today? I'm always curious if I'm streaming at a strange time on a work day on my side, where's everyone else? But clearly Japan's time zone is not the same as a lot of um, the channel's kind of base. It's mostly European and American, right? So it could be that it's early morning for you, it could be that it's like late night or something. Alright, so black to decide what to do. I've no real rush with moving my rooks. I don't know where I need them. And actually for the most part right now I don't need them, so I think rook c1 is a move I've seen in the master game as well. We'll see. We will see. If our opponent decides to do something interesting, like sink their queen in here, I don't think we have any reason to worry about that. If it's here, we can push it away. If it's here, it can't do anything anyway. Here, if they ever come in here, we can just move our rook over, take back. We're still covering all the squares. And again, e5 is a weakness that is hard for what black to get rid of. If they push, for instance, we can take and we can take again. Oh, that's actually... Where's my phone? That's my brother phoning me in the morning from their side. 1 second. Okay, what? Oh, they actually are going... Okay, so the thing here is that I can take, and they end up with a kind of difficult situation. Either they give me activity because my rook gets onto their queen, or they take and they get an isolated pawn. I want to know if pushing might be useful as well, actually. If I push, the queen has to move, but I actually don't want to. I want to take. So I was just saying I don't think this is great. So I can take. It's going to be a knight takes back, of course. I can even avoid another trade by putting my knight on the d4 square. I also have f4 after that. Otherwise it's just take. I don't even have to take again because I can take with my bit. Just take here. Maybe they take with their queen. We get some nice activity in here. Maybe they take once. We're going to take back with our bishop. Then we get the open file. We're going to get our knight over here, which hits the light squares. And if they take with the pawn, they've just got an isolated pawn. And then we can put our f rook in there, our f knight in there maybe. Yeah, I just don't think this is very good. Is there any other way I want to proceed here? I don't think so. I think we're just going to take. Pushing through, I don't think matters. Yeah. Otherwise, if I do this first, then they push. I can still take this pawn. Then they do that. Yeah, but if they push, I can go here. And you can't get through. Oh, I wonder. If I do this and they push, they take first maybe, then they push. Then I do this. If you push again, I take it anyway, so it doesn't really work. I can also bring back my knight with pressure on the queen first. That's quite nice. And if they take here, I wonder if I should jump somewhere else then actually. Check. Is it so knight back first, pawn takes, or rook over is kind of what I'm thinking about. Over they push. I can still take there, take. Double up on that pawn, they might defend it, but then the knight also hangs, so maybe it's like this. Rook over. I don't really like them being able to push past. I think I'm going to take. And these are all the squares that their knights currently hit. But I'll be able to bring a rook over before their queen and knight can take control of the d-file. And the queen's going to have to give way, even if they put a rook there. And the bishop hasn't been developed yet, so this rook isn't playing just yet. They do take the isolated pawn. Okay. Alright, so isolated pawn for me feels pretty good. Now I probably want to put a knight over there, and I can kick this guy away. I can also take... And then when they jump with their queen, I can bring my knight back. Yeah, that light square bishop just doesn't have as many nice squares to go to. Hit the queen again. Or is it just rook over? Rook over here and here. I still have to take care of this knight though. Or do I just take at that point and just, you know, I've got, maybe it's rook first. If they bring their light square bishop out, then maybe it's time for me to take here, take, and then hit it like that, hit that pawn if they go here. I can hit the queen. I wonder. I think I have to move slightly faster in terms of I want to get activity going quickly. What if I take and then jump the knight back first? This guy probably doesn't want to take it. I'm not sure. I mean, this has got to be good for me, but I'm not sure exactly how to make this work. Okay, so rook over here or here, knight back, knight block, knight take, I guess is what I'm looking at. Maybe this is fine. I've got control of these squares with my pawns. This knight's actually helping me here. If they bring their bishop out, then I can jump back. I'm covering the other squares. Yeah, I like this. I like this. The bishop out, the rook's gonna come out. I can bring my rook out and step sideways. Here. Oh, here. It's pinned. That's a little bit of a concern. So here. Unless I just accept that it might get pinned. So here, rook over. If I go here, they take, I take again, I'm still hitting the queen. So if they take my queen, I take the other, then this hangs. This hangs with check. Maybe, oh, you know what, maybe I should do this. Push that guy around, and then this, pushing this guy around. Giving me this, after I have a rook over here. Knight back here. Rook comes out. No, I'm not so sure if that was the right way to go. Yeah, a little bit unsure now. They can give me double pawns. I don't know if that matters, to be honest. Rook over, step out. Obviously, if they take, I get the pawn structure. That's not great. I get a bit of pressure here, though. Yeah, actually, this is probably okay. I'm gonna do this afterwards. I still have these guys. I still have a rook that can come to the D file. I think double pawns on the A file feels a bit uncomfortable, but the only thing I didn't really just consider was that it loses control of C4. So if they take, the knight can come sit here. The knight, oh, they pull out the rook first. So I can jump, oh no, then I didn't do that right. I can get stuck, that's silly. Alright, so I have to move out of the way now. Isn't really any other way around this. I could do this immediately with my queen, but I like this more. Even if you hit me with your knight again. Oh no, because then you're getting control of this. Oh, maybe I made a mistake here. Alright, it shouldn't be losing yet, but I have a feeling... Okay, I have a feeling my queen can't sit here because it's going to get hit. Unless I sack the exchange. Oh, but this also takes care of that, maybe. Hmm. It's this or this, right? I don't think this move is worth considering. Oh, this also... No, this doesn't lose track of it just yet. Take, then let's... Take. Knight comes here. That does give me this square to play with. And if you attack me, then I'm kind of stuck actually. And then I can get another pawn. But eventually my queen's going to get stuck. Yeah, I can't get out. And the light square bishop is dominating my knight. Okay. Move back again. You hit me in a brutal fork. This is actually a fork immediately if I step off the back rank. Here you take... Is there any in-between move that saves me here? Not really. Okay. Alright, I think I might have misplayed this now. No! Sorry, Declan, you were saying something. Good, thanks. Just covered you. How are you? I'm good. I'm not playing too well. I've been taking a bit of a break from trying to focus on my chess, and it hits the calculation skills so fast. Love the way you think and talk about what is your plans. I'm not doing exactly great, but yeah, I have exactly 15 minutes of free time and I'll be here for 9 more minutes. Subscribe. Thanks, Declan. Apologies. Maybe I've already spoken through most of the time that you had available, but it's super nice that you were coming past to say hi, and I hope that you will come past again in the future. This is just like a random pool game. The other thing that I'm going to do later in this week on Saturday probably is stream when I'm playing my league game, which is a longer 45 plus 45 time control where you actually have to, where you can prepare for your opponent a bit if you want to. Alright, so the move I'm not too excited about is this one. Take here. If I do this, I hit their queen. But again, the same problem happens. At the end of the day, their queen is actually defended, mine isn't. So yeah, so I'm expecting this to be coming out. That's not great for me. Here, I'm gonna take there. I don't want to sack the exchange. I think that is a terrible idea in this position. This does, give me some options with the knight though. So I need to see if maybe I've missed something with the knight. Things get a bit weaker when the bishop goes here. They're probably going to play the pawn up to protect it. I could even try breaking, but now I've got so much open space on the queen side. Yeah. So in here, I think this was an incorrect move. I needed to bring the knight back immediately or take that knight out. I was very excited about putting the knight on the square in front of the isolated pawn, but it's not going to work out so well for me, is it? We'll see. Oh, I do see an in-between move here. Take with the rook, take this pawn, hits the queen, comes within checking range of the king, opens up my attack against this guy as well, and I can still take back. So there might be a way for me to make something. So if you take here, I take here first, and if you take this way and I take back, and then you take here, then I'm actually not doing too badly. There's no fork on the back rank. I can take this pawn a little bit more safely. You don't have a light square bishop anymore, so for instance this square over here, the b5 square becomes available to me if necessary for a knight jump, I mean, or for a queen, I guess. Yeah, Yeah, okay. So I think actually the rook trading part might solve my problem. If they do something strange, like jump the knight out first, I think this actually works quite well for me, because they can take my knight, and I can take their pawn. And then that pawn is also hanging, and if they take there, then where do I jump my knight? Take, take. No, but then this knight is also pinned to their queen, so maybe there's something I can do about that. Maybe I jump it back here, blocking the light square bishop from seeing into the position. Alright, wow, black is taking a long time. Let's see. I mean, I was quite worried about this, but I think, oh, okay. I didn't see that coming. If I take here, you take back this way? Is the point to try get control of this square? If I take, you take back. I'm just down a... I mean, this is the obvious move here, right? And it is double protected, and I don't have any other problems. I could still trade off for that guy. I could still jump over here if I have to hit the backwards pawn. So this actually is, I'm also double hitting that guy, so you have to defend, and if you push, I can hit your queen and that pawn. I also have this, but I don't know. Maybe I just come back first. Alright, let's move. Can't spend too much time. This can get traded off, but that's great for me overall, I think, really good. This is the knight that's uncomfortable. If I push that knight away, where does it go? Back there? Here? Because now I have the same plan I had earlier. Push the knight, and if you don't trade, I push the second knight, and then I've got that pawn double attacked. Here, and if you trade, obviously, we're just going to trade off. Also doesn't feel like it could be that bad for me, to be honest. Given that I have a better pawn structure. Orewa Spy. Hello, konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. I guess everyone's doing a konnichiwa today. Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. Oh, my word. I can't spell. Konnichiwa. Alright, let's get into it. They did what? Oh, they did push. Okay. I can go back there. I don't think it's worth it. I also don't really think going here is worth it, to be honest. They can move their queen, I don't know, somewhere to hit it. And I don't think that knight has a future. I guess I can do this, but they can hit it, and then it's just stuck. So trading off or jumping back to come out. Jumping back feels better, to be honest. And I think I want to jump this way to get onto this square if I need to. And also to avoid disconnecting my rooks, because they have to take with the queen, which is not what I want to do. If I do take, they take with their pawn. How bad is that? Not amazingly bad, but I feel like I got better, you know? So I think here's my move. I'm also keeping visibility of all the spots that look scary. Alright, and now I don't have aggression there, but I could move this knight back there. I could also push and take with the knight. I still have this plan, but I just don't know what I'm doing with it, to be honest. We're staring at each other down the wall. If we trade off the rooks... Oh, I gotta be careful. This square is now always a nice square for their knight. So I kinda have to ask it to leave now. If you come here, I can take it. It's okay. So here now, these are your options. Most of them don't look like they matter much. Yeah, it doesn't matter really. Yeah, so there. In that case, maybe I should do this first. My point being that if I then hit the second knight and it moves, there might be a nice discovery where I take and they take, and then I take like this way and I do something. We'll see. This might also be worth trying to crack open while I have my knight covering these squares. Here, here. Take, take, or push past, or nothing. Yeah, actually, I don't like how this queen side is developed at all. Uncomfortable to say the least. Alright, if I do this and they trade off rooks, I just take with my rook. If they put the other rook there, then I take, they take with their bishop. I can hit the queen and the pawn same time. I can always jump back if I have to, depending how they defend. Push these guys away and try and hit that guy. Also, that pawn might be a little bit weaker. Alright, looks like black's also kind of struggling with the plan. Okay, they're bringing their queen over behind the pawn and also getting on my knight. Which might mean that my, like, here, but no, that's not, doesn't work. So here maybe? I take, they take, I take, they take my knight. Oh, but this, now you have to take with a rook. Okay, so if I take here and you take with the rook, and I take here and you take with here, then I take this. So if I take here, you have to take with your bishop. Does that give me anything? Because basically now that knight's undefended, so if my knight can do anything interesting... If I do this and they take with the rook, then the knight's defended, and that sucks. Oh, hang on, but if I take this way and they take with the rook, I can do this. I know, then that guy is still defended by the knight as well. So if they like defend the knight, knight take, the knight jumps out of the way, and that kind of spoils my fun. Alright, so we're going to take this way and see which way they take back here. And that, okay, so this should give us something. Right, this knight's helping to cover. This knight's covering here, this pawn's covering here. This rook's covering the back. This pawn's the only one covering the pawn over here, and that knight is undefended. So we take here, they take back, and we take this way, and we've won a pawn, and we've also kind of gotten a bit more into the position. Bishop's under attack. We don't have a check there though, but if we can take the pawn, it's a check. Okay, am I missing anything? Knight jumps, I can take... Oh, you know what, if I do this, knight jumps, take with the pawn. Oh, no, but my knight can still block it as well. No, it can't, because I'm taking. So take here, you jump this way. I'm going to fork, obviously. Take here, you take, I take, then you jump this way. Oh, no, but you're... no, everything's hanging, isn't it? I can take here with... No. Take, take, and then I take here with check. I bring my rook over. Oh, it's got to be good. We're going to do it. A lot of calculation, but I think they've just overextended the f-pawn a little bit. Bro, I'm not Japanese, just trying to be cool. Cool, man, no worries. I didn't mean that you can read it. I just thought I would write back in Japanese, just for the fun of it. I'm an intermediate player, and I love to see you. I just got recommended today. Awesome, that's really nice, man. Thank you very much for joining. I am also myself just trying my best here, you know. Oh, okay. Okay, so now they're opening up a potential pin on me here, where they can discover with a check on my king, and also the knight's currently hit, so that's not good. Alright, so I have to go back now to block this diagonal with my queen, because otherwise I'm going to fall. And what do I have to show for it? I have an extra pawn. And if they open up, they can't hit me. Yeah, okay, we gotta come back. Dangerous. I wonder if this was their plan. Is there more to it? Bishop's now open this way. Does it matter? Yeah, this situation is now actually very uncomfortable. Because if they jump, my queen isn't protected. And actually doesn't have a lot of squares to run to. So I might have to do something like this to get that guy to go away so I can come over here. Very unsure. But we're up a pawn in a pawn structure. We're just down in activity. Our opponent clearly has more active pieces. Do we hit that knight directly? Oh no, and I can't come there at least. That looks uncomfortable though. Yeah, I think as silly as it sounds, f3 might be a move for us just to push that guy so I can come out of the pin. Oh, no, they're literally going for it. Okay. Okay, now they take me, I check, they come out, I take. Not good for me. Or I just defend, I guess. And then we're up a pawn. They can get in here though. Oh, that pawn will also hang. Oh, this is messy. This is messy. Oh, hang on. Oh, no, that doesn't help. Here, and if they take there, then we take there with check. That's still good. Here, and if they take first, then we defend, and everyone gets an isolated pawn. So it's either this, or it's... so it's not this. It's this, or I go for some crazy, like... No, I don't get enough value from that, though. I can't. Alright, so I guess I have to do this and take an isolated pawn in the middle of the board as well. I don't really see how I get out of that. I can take with my queen, but they've got a more active rook, so I think I have to take with the pawn. I still have control of some of these squares at least, so their rook isn't immediately... Okay, perfect. This looks like it's helping me, to be honest. Are they coming in here now? I doubt it. Maybe I come over here now. Oh, I can't. Or maybe I just take. Take here, and then... Yeah. Oh no! I flagged again! I always do this nowadays. I get so excited with my analysis, I completely forget about my time. I'm no longer good at shorter time controls. And 15% isn't even short. Oh man. Hello, what's your rating? Ken Adams, on this account, I'm about 2,000 something. 2,000 and change. We've been rising and rising, but as you can see, we took a break and our game is currently looking pretty tough in terms of just cleaning up, like this. Like, we're clearly better, we just have to find the right way forward. Keep sharing more information. Informative would help me through. Yeah, of course. I'm super happy to share. And you can just learn from my mistakes, right? Because that was obviously not a very good way to go. Let's quickly look at the analysis by ourselves before we open up the actual board. So this was a Stonewall Dutch. We played the fianchetto variation, or the fianchetto attack. I forget what the naming was now. Stonewall, and in this case we now have a clear plan. We're going to try and trade off the dark square bishops and play against the bad light square bishop of our opponent. So here b3. We are now threatening bishop a3 if they castle, which they did, because then the bishop has to go off the board. They can't really avoid it too much anymore. In the Masters database, you can also, after b3, play queen e7, which stops it for a move and forces white to play a4 if they want the plan to continue. So then the pawn structure here is a little bit strange, but it's still fine. White can still make the plan. They played queen e7 late, and I've played queen c1 in the past here, kind of reinforcing the attack, because I really want to take with my knight and jump around. But I remember I played an opponent earlier in the series who didn't take, and eventually in the analysis I realized that you can actually just take. It's fine for white. You don't have to wait all the time. So take the bishop, and then we just developed naturally, kind of not really revealing our plan just yet. And here I started revealing my plan, but in the end they played some interesting they actually pushed their pawn through, which was very interesting. I didn't see that coming at all. The one thing that helps them with this is that I'm currently not attacking that pawn sufficiently. So maybe I'm supposed to move over my rook first or something like that to be a bit more accurate in this position. I don't know if e5 is correct, but anyway, they took with the knight. Maybe trading off was just cleaner. Then we took the pawn. They took with the pawn, so they didn't put their queen on the open file because that gives us a lot of activity. Here again, probably taking the knight is just perfectly fine. And then we could, bring our rook back. They would bring their bishop out. We could put our queen next to our... oh, hang on, no. Here, we can't jump here because our knight would be taken. What am I talking about? So we'd have to play back first, I think. Bishop out, and then here hitting their queen. Which could come in here, but I don't think that really matters. Takes, and this pawn can be defended or pushed or whatever. Anyway, we decide to get in front of the pawn, which maybe system-wise, engine-wise is good. But I realized afterwards that now actually they are threatening to take there and get control of the c4 square, which I think was probably black's main plan. So probably in this case, knight back immediately or rook over. Well, actually no, just knight back immediately. We got caught out, caught with our hand in the cookie jar. Knight on the rim, not so great. So maybe knight d1 in the future is the better way to go as well. Because then we can go knight b2 and d3 as well. Okay, anyway. We placed in front, we accepted the situation, but they didn't play it. So they didn't take, I didn't take, and then here they played their rook over first. Spent a lot of time figuring out where to put our queen, but we're trying to keep control of d2, otherwise they just fork us immediately for the exchange. And here still I thought taking, and then knight c4 is just really good for black actually. Felt like I made a bit of a mistake there. This pawn would hang. Oh, but I did see that if they take, I can actually do like kind of an in-between here. Take there, and maybe I can take there, hitting their queen, and then I can take there. I'm also opening up against the knight, something. I don't know, I could complicate the position. They pushed me around. I sadly put my knight back on b2, b1. It's covering these squares, which is good, but yeah, I kind of, maybe I should have just actually snapped off the knight at some point. Trading here was nice because I got this little trick in. They had a nice counter trick though. Here, and then I have to protect it, and they didn't want to trade. And here we just fell off, but I was going to play f3. So they clearly got some pressure here, but it's not enough. I've got a lot of defense on f2, and if I push f3, it's also double defended. I think that's fine. If I push and they jump their knight in here, I don't think I have to care about that too much, to be honest. I can probably come over here if I have to, because where are they actually threatening me in that case? If they did jump their knight in here, then they're covering these squares. Yeah, so this is where I would want to run in that case. They could jump their knight back to kind of piss me off a bit, but I don't think it would really matter that much. Oh, that would actually be a draw. They could jump here, hitting my queen. I move my queen, they jump back. I have to go here or something crazy. Okay, so we can analyze that, but I was going to go f3 here. I thought I had kind of weathered the worst of it, but clearly I'd misplayed the position a little bit, so we can see. Yeah, bro, you're far better than me. Lol says hi. Hello, Lol. Hi, Lol. I thought your pushing kingside pawn should be better. It could be. We can look a little bit in analysis quick before I get going. Try and take my wife to the coffee shop, I think. Alright, so we played against someone just under 2,000 and we're a little bit over. We can see that we also lost a bit more. We haven't played too much recently, so we kind of what do you call it? Our rating deviation on the account is rising. Because we're not playing, so the system says, well, it's not so clear what your rating is anymore, so your variance after a win or loss is more. But we're still somewhere over 2,000, I guess. Okay, so yeah, we're going to the exchange Dutch, and here b3, main move. This is queen e7 is the main move by masters, and then you can play a4 to insist on the plan, or you can just play bishop e2 and not do it. But they castled first, and our bishop a3 is great, and our taking is perfectly fine. Queen e7 here, one master game remaining, and they did take. Okay, cool. So we're just kind of going into transpositions. Queen c1 and e3. Yeah, I didn't really think that was necessary. I just developed my knight normally. So here we're already kind of jumping out of... Are there more? Oh, here's some more. Okay, so we're transposing a little bit here. Queen c2 and e3. Now knight e4. Well, we're transposing a lot. Rook 81 and knight e1. Knight e1. Is it to play f3? Is it to take with the bishop? Knight e1. Not sure what knight e1 is. Let's see. Knight e1, b6, f. It is for f3. Okay, fair enough. Alright, yeah, so, and then no one plays that. That's silliness. And immediately the engine says I'm slightly worse. So, 2000 above, rapid and classical in lead chess. No one plays knight a4. It's silliness. Yeah, okay. No one agrees with my plan. One person has played it. That might even be our game. It's not though. Alright, yeah, knight. Okay, here's one game that did that. Okay, and then slightly good for us. e5 just can't be good. Yeah, okay, so according to the engine, and our opponent apparently ran it already. Very, very equal game. Accuracy was a bit better. We didn't make any mistakes, but we had inaccuracies like crazy. But I definitely felt the discomfort in the position. Oh, interesting. I didn't even consider this. So when they jump, we can take on our knight defends our queen. And what if they play f6 in this position? Oh, then we can check the king. Oh, and we also have this check, which is really nice. And if they go there, then we can take the knight, and it's kind of equal whichever way we just want to pawn. Oh, very nice. Okay, so if I was in this position again, here, say they don't take. Yeah, queen c1 is a move. I've played this before. Queen c1, knight bd, and then you can kind of like give up slowly but surely, but eventually you just take. So yeah, I just didn't want to play queen c1 this time. Knight c3, main move in the top leeches database, but apparently masters have a different way of playing it. Knight bd, queen c2, yeah, we're all playing the same way here. And then knight d2 to push it off, or getting the rooks in. Knight e1, I don't really get knight e1 too much. c5. What about knight d1? Yeah, there's a few knight... Yeah, there's some people who played knight d1 with the point of being same plan, just giving them this way. So if they play e5 here, dx, knight x. Oh, knight x, you keep taking. Queen x, knight d2. Okay, so we're just going to put the queen in a difficult position. We can take back with our knight. Bishop e7, knight d3. Queen goes back somewhere. Bring the rook over. Takes with the pawn, obviously. That's the one we just looked at. Hang on. Knight f. Then takes. Interesting. You could have done this in this game as well, though. Here, knight f, here, takes. Yeah, but all of this I think is just slightly better for white. But we missed the plan. Oh, not the engine. I just want to look. Okay, so this was clearly kind of silly. e5 isn't so good. Okay, so just getting off the open file, covering the d square. That is a slightly more active way to play. Yeah, we did consider what to do here. I eventually thought actually just knight back was better. Maybe it's okay, but then this happens. Oh, I can take here. I can win the pawn, and then this guy's weak. That's not going to happen. Let's see. Okay. Alright. And then e3. So you kind of got e3 most of the time, I guess. If you play e3, rook over. e3, h5. I mean, clearly rook over is the move that they're expecting to do. And the thing I was scared of the whole time was here. Take, here. I thought this position was looking kind of bad for me. Yeah, that's kind of tough. What on the first take? Can I play rook takes instead? Yeah, rook takes best. Yes. Very nice. Okay, so my kind of in-between move wasn't too bad. Trading off was best. Dropping back was worse. But they didn't trade. Okay, and winning that pawn kind of meant nothing. Okay, they didn't take, and actually we ended on a good position. I was going to play f3. What happens here? What happens here? What happens here? And then I take it, obviously. I'm covering the squares. That takes. No. Oh. Okay. That's a silly one, but a fun game. Alright, thank you everyone who's come past. Thank you everyone who said hi. Found us a few new faces here. Declan Ross, Oreo Spy. Oreo Spy, now I understand your Japanese. Oreo, yeah, I guess I don't really use that Japanese much, but that is a way of referring to yourself. Ken Adams and Lowell, thank you very much all for coming past and saying hi. I hope you enjoyed it. Losing is never fun, but this is part of the journey of learning and improving and just getting some games in. You got to play. Even if you have very good knowledge, you got to use your kind of chess muscles, otherwise you forget. Alright, so we're going to call it there. Thank you very much for coming past. Check us again in the future. If you like what you saw, please subscribe. We do some other stuff as well on the channel. And yeah, look forward to seeing you next time. Bye bye.